Listen to it fizz. Alka-Seltzer for headache. Alka-Seltzer for acid indigestion. Alka-Seltzer for cold discomfort. Alka-Seltzer presents the Quiz Kids.
Attention, Quiz Kids. Here's today's first question. If you put together the symbols of sulfur, hydrogen, molybdenum, and oxygen, you would have a very useful something that provides all the necessities of life. What is it?
Yes, that's today's question number 1. And how many of you listeners know the answer? Well, you have a second or two to think it over while the youngsters here in our classroom of the air get ready for roll call. And here they are, the Quiz Kids, and the chief quizzer himself, Joe Kelly.
Thank you, Bob Murphy, and hello, everyone. Well, it's that time of a Sunday afternoon when the Quiz Kids give the 3 R's a good going over, and we hope you folks out there will join in and see how many of these brain teasers you can answer, too. Yes, let's all have some fun with this reading, writing, arithmetic session, and let's begin right now. On hand this afternoon, we have Joel.
I'm Joel Kupperman. I'm 12 years old, and I go into Roosevelt High School tomorrow.
Ruthie.
I'm Ruthie Duskin. I'm 14 years old and in 3A at South Shore High.
Patrick.
I am Patrick Owen Conlon. I'm 11 years old and have been promoted to 7A in the Fort Dearborn School in Chicago.
Good for you, Pat. And 2 newcomers to class. Michael.
I'm Mike McLean. I'm 12 years old, and I'm in 7th grade at Hawthorne Junior High School.
And very tiny Brenda.
I am Brenda Liebling. I'm 4 years old and I live in Chicago, Illinois.
That's a girl. Yes, sir. Now, that's the way to talk right up. Well, let's get back to your first question from Mrs. Homer Grove of Peoria, Illinois. Have you kids arrived at that very useful something that provides all the necessities of life? All you had to do was to put together the symbols of sulfur, hydrogen, molybdenum, and oxygen. Now we have 3 hands, and Pat's hand was first.
Well, first you take sulfur. Is it in that order?
That's right.
All right.
Sulfur.
Well, sulfur is F.
Yes, right.
And what is next? Hydrogen? That's H.
H.
And molybdenum?
Yes.
That's M-O.
M-O.
And what's the last one?
Oxygen?
That's O.
So?
Smooth. That's a smooth.
Smooth, that's right.
And,
yes, sir. Smooth.
And they appear in the Little Abner comic strip, and they are mythical characters. If you look at them as if you want to eat them, they fall dead, and they make eggs, butter, sugar, everything under the sun, milk. You would have all the necessities of life,
You
really.
certainly would. That's very, very good, Pat. Thanks a lot. And that sends us off to a flying start, Quiz Kids. And for sending in that question, Alka-Seltzer gives Mrs. Homer Grove of Peoria, Illinois, a fine Zenith transoceanic shortwave portable radio, the most outstanding portable on the market today. Now, that's always Alka-Seltzer's reward when the Quiz Kids answer your question correctly. If they miss, Alka-Seltzer sends you a big Zenith radio phonograph combination with the new Cobra tone arm, 2 FM bands, the whole works. So try your hand at stumping these youngsters. Send your questions to Quiz Kids, Chicago. Well, for Dorothy Pill of Chicago, I would like to see if you children can name the 12 apostles of Jesus. And, of course, if there is any confusion about some of the apostles going under several names, you might clear that up as you go along, too. All right, Pat?
Well, the first and foremost apostle, I believe, was Simon called Peter.
That's right. That's
and then
1.
There was Andrew, his brother.
2.
James, the son of Zebedee.
Yes. 3.
And John, his brother.
Yes.
And Philip.
4.
Bartholomew.
Yes.
Thomas. Matthew.
Matthew, fine.
James, the son of Alphaeus.
Right.
Simon the Canaanite.
Correct.
Thaddeus, called Lebbaeus. That's the one that has another name.
Yes.
And Judas Iscariot.
That's right. All 12, Pat. Very good. Very good. That's wonderful, Pat. Very wonderful. Now, Mrs. Robert E. Barker of San Diego, California, wants me to see if any of you children are real music lovers. So she has furnished me with this musical quiz. Who were the composers of these famous works? First, the opera Don Giovanni. Brenda.
Mozart.
Mozart, that's right, honey. That's right. Who wrote the Peer Gynt Suite? Joel.
Grieg.
That's right, Greek. And this is often a favorite. Who wrote the Waltz of the Flowers? Brenda.
Tchaikovsky.
Tchaikovsky, right! I like that. Really knows the composers. Now, here's a question from Len Goodman of Baltimore, Maryland, that sounds as if it might be of practical use to all the children who like to make snowmen in the winter, and what kids don't. If a snowball 2 inches in diameter is being rolled 3 yards, and this snowball picks up 1/2 inch of snow for every inch it goes, and it goes 1 inch every 30 seconds, what will the diameter be when it reaches the end of 3 yards, and how long will it take to do this? Joel?
Well, first, how long will it take to do this?
Yeah.
It goes 1 inch every 30 seconds, and since there's 36 inches in the... How many yards? 3 yards?
3 yards.
So that it'll be 108 inches, and let's see, it goes 30 inches a second, so that'd be 108 over 30, so it'd be 3 and 18/30, or 3 and 3/5 seconds would be the time.
Well, can you give that to me in minutes now, real quick?
3, what, in minutes?
Yes, uh-huh.
Well, that'll be, let's see, 3 and 3/5. So I think of this. It goes 108 inches, and it goes 30 inches a second.
1 inch every 30 seconds.
Oh, 1 inch every 30 seconds. So it'll go 2 inches a minute, so it'll take 54 minutes.
No.
Oh, wait a second.
No, sorry.
It goes, let's see, it goes 3 yards. 36 inches in the yard, that's 108 inches. And it goes 1 inch every 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
So it goes 2 inches every minute, or 108 inches every, so the 108 inches would be would take 54 minutes.
No, I'm sorry, Joel. I'm very sorry.
Well, as for the diameter, picks up 1/2 inch every inch it goes, so it picks up 54 inches of snow. And what was the diameter when it started, please?
2 inches in diameter.
So it would be 56 inches in diameter.
56, that's right.
diameter.
That's right. And say, incidentally, wait just a minute now, where the judges are conferring on this one that I called wrong here. It seems like that you are right. 54 inches, is that right?
54 minutes.
I mean, 54 minutes?
That's
You're right, Joe. I'm sorry. I don't mean that I'm sorry you're right, see. I meant I was sorry for myself on that. Once in a while, you know, we get things a little twisted around here. Well, we'll have our next question in just a minute. During that minute, Bob Murphy wants to talk to you folks who have never tried Alka-Seltzer for the relief of headaches.
You bet I do, Joe. And friends, the next time you have a headache or someone in your family has one, just drop 1 or 2 Alka-Seltzer tablets into a glass of water. Watch it bubble up and dissolve, then drink it. You'll be amazed and delighted at how quickly this glass of sparkling Alka-Seltzer brings relief from the pain and distress of your headache. It's not like taking pills at all. It's so pleasant to take, so gentle and soothing, yet so fast in relieving that pain that you'll be delighted because your headache will be relieved almost before you know it. Yes, if you're one of the few people who have never taken Alka-Seltzer for headache pain, the next time you have a headache, all we ask you to do is try it. Alka-Seltzer will do the rest. If Alka-Seltzer does not please you, your money will be refunded. So ask your druggist for Alka-Seltzer and try it for amazingly fast relief of headaches or acid indigestion or the distress of colds. We know that if you will try it, you'll never be without it in your home, because there is nothing quite like Alka-Seltzer.
All right, class, we'll begin again. And this question from Freddie Blackwell of Elkhart, Indiana, sounds like a quickie, kids. How long was the 100 Years' War? Pat?
Well, it was a little more than 100 years. I think it was 107 years.
Well, how do you arrive at that, Pat? Can you give me some dates, some years?
No, I'm afraid it slips my mind.
All right, well, let's see. Joel has his hand up. All right, Joel.
Well, the 100 Years' War, I believe, was the Civil War in Germany, and I don't know exactly how long it took, but it was started around 1600, perhaps,
No,
I think it wore out around 2 generations, so it was around 40 years.
No, you are wrong on this, Joel. Ruthie?
Well, I'm almost sure it was in the 18th century, but I don't know the exact date.
No, I'm sorry. You give up. Pat, would you like...
Well, I think I can tell you one thing. There was a war between England and France.
That's right.
And
that's
several
correct.
other and several other nations.
Yes, Joel said Germany, which was incorrect. And all right, Joel.
Well, if it was England and France, it might be the series of wars ending with the French and Indian Wars. I believe England and France were practically always at war from around 1690 on, so it'll last around 65 years.
No, wait a minute now. No, you give up on this? Started 1338 and lasted until 1453. So that would make the 100 Years' War 115 years. Well, that's a miss, but don't feel badly. We can't get them all. And that means that Freddie Blackwell of Elkhart, Indiana, wins a big Zenith radio phonograph combination from the makers of Alka-Seltzer. Now, Mrs. Jane Riley of Akron, Ohio, has discovered that there's one senator who has not had a haircut since the Senate convened for this last session. Can you tell what might be the senator's excuse? Patrick.
Well, I can tell you the senator's excuse, and I think it's about the best excuse you could have.
What?
That is Senator Margaret Chase Smith of Maine, who was a woman.
Yeah.
And naturally, she wouldn't have a haircut.
Well, of course,
She might.
If she wore it long, would she?
If she wore it long, she would, but I don't think she does.
No, well, all right, fine. That's the answer I was looking for. Now, Mrs. Smith is the only woman in the Senate, but there are 8 in the House. Can you mention 3 of them? Ruthie?
Well, there's Mrs. Douglas.
Yes.
I don't know the other. Oh, Claire Booth Luce, I think. Or did she lose?
No, Joel?
Mrs. Bolton from Ohio.
Ohio, that's
and
true.
there's Mrs. Norton from New Jersey.
From New Jersey. And, Pat, do you have one?
Well, yes, I can give you the others, too.
Oh, you can?
Yes, there was Mrs. St. George from New York.
Yes.
And Rebecca Bozen from Democrat from Utah. And Mrs. Chase Going Woodhouse, a Democrat from Connecticut.
From Connecticut, and
Mrs. Cecil Hardin, Republican from Indiana. And,
from where?
From Indiana.
From Indiana? Oh, yes,
Hardin.
yes.
And, and Edith Norris Rogers.
Can you imagine an old Hoosier like me have to look around for that?
Edith Norris Rogers, a Republican from Massachusetts.
And who else?
Well, I think we gave, let's see now, we gave...
no, I'm just kidding you. I have them all. I just wanted to try and catch you off guard. That's Well, now, Quiz Kids, I have a treat for you on this next question, which is from Mr. Hunt of Denver, Colorado. We have a very special guest in our studio who's going to help us out. Now, he's a friend of the Quiz Kids from way back, and he's none other than the talented and well-loved cowboy movie star, Smiley Burnett. Well, Smiley, we're certainly glad to have you drop in on us today.
Well, sir, it sure is good to be here, Joe, and see all the Quiz Kids again. I tell you, I remember when little Joel and all the other kids visited me in Hollywood a long time ago. You know, they had more fun running my power lawnmower than they did swimming in the pool, oh, you know?
They sure did. Yeah. And you know what, Smiley? What I remember was the barbecued chicken we had at your house.
Good, wasn't it?
And, wait a minute now, Smiley. Wait a minute. We got to get on to business here and ask the kids a question. You all set?
Yeah,
all right.
Put my gloves
well,
off
now,
here.
kids, Smiley, take off your mittens, son. Smiley Burnett will play and sing a song of his own composition, and you Quiz Kids are to name another song that mentions the same subject. All right, now, here's the first one. You all tuned up there, Smiley?
I got to get the humstrum on here.
Yeah, the humstrum, yeah.
I'll just sing you a little bit of it here.
All right.
Riding down the canyon to see the sun go down. A picture that no artist e'er could paint. There goes a hand up, Joe. So
all right,
just sing a
Smiley.
little bit.
Riding down the canyon. Ruthie?
Well, that's about the sunset, I believe. And I can't sing this, but there's some kind of a song, Sunset
You
over
don't
the
have to
Sierra
sing, honey.
Madre.
Just give me the name of another
Well,
song.
I think it's Sunset over the Sierra Madre, something on that order.
Did we mention sunset in that?
Yeah, there's the sunset in there.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, that's fine.
I
all
didn't
right,
get
now-
down to singing it, but it's in there.
Yeah. Well, we knew we'd get to it sooner or later. Now, Pat?
Well, another word that he used was riding, and of course you could have riding old paint.
Yes, that's right. And
Right.
Joel?
Well, mentioned Canyon. You
Canyon?
could have old Clementine.
That's right. That's another one, huh? And now let's see about this next one, Smiley.
Well, this song here, I wrote it for the little kids because ordinarily they don't care much about the words. They don't understand them, but they like the sound effects. So maybe you can pick out some songs with the sound effects. Now, a long, long time ago, as the boys and girls should know, Uncle Noah built himself an ark. And for 40 days and nights the rain was sure a fright, and the animals nearly tore his old ark apart. Oh, the duck went quack and the cow went moo, the roosters cocky-doodle-doo, and the old tomcat sure raised an awful row. A little pig squealed and the billy goat bad, and the bullfrog set, biggest rain we ever had. Uncle Noah's ark's a madhouse now. Oh, the horses and the cattle and the fowls of the air. Even the long-eared jassack was there. Whack, the owl said who? Cocky-doo-doo, all were there in Uncle Noah's ark.
Well, it's silly now. We've got three hands up there. Ruthie's hand was up first.
Well,
All
I've got
right.
a couple of them. First of all, in the very beginning, he said a long time ago, and there's a song called Long, Long Ago.
Yes,
Tell me the tale.
that's all right.
And then the one that I'm sure you were referring to is Old MacDonald Had a Farm, E-I-E-I-O.
Well, that's a good one, too. And, Patrick?
Well, I, too, have several. I went to the animal fair with all those animals.
Oh, sure.
And also, when you in the old song, Accentuate the Positive, it says something about Joan and the whale and Noah and the ark.
Well, say it does, doesn't it? That's right. Uh-huh. And, Mike, what were you going to say,
I was
sir?
going to say about the dog and the duck. They were in Old MacDonald.
Oh, sure, yes. They were in there. Yeah, they were all in there. Joel?
Well, there was one time he stopped his guitar, and that would be I Got Plenty of Nothing.
Boy, they really think about, don't they, Smiley? Huh?
That's right, I got plenty of nothing today.
Well, thanks a lot, Smiley. Now, don't you go too far away because I've got something else here I want you to help me out with, will you? All right, fine. Thanks very much. Now, you know, kids, in this midwinter season, Eleanor Peck of Kenmore, New York, asked if you children can predict an early win for the world champion Cleveland Indians this year. Joel.
Well, yes, because he was traded to the Indians by the Senators.
Who was traded?
Early win.
Early win, that's right. Now, you folks out there listening might have some fun trying this out with your name. Florence Monty of Racine, Wisconsin, wants the kids to make a word by using the initials of their first and last name and adding one letter after each initial. Let's see. A word using my initials might be, let's see, mine are J.K., so J.A.K.E. would be Jake. Huh? All right, we'll start off with Patrick.
Well, I was thinking of some. You could have. My initials are C and P.
Well,
Or P and C.
P and C, yes.
But if you added an A in between and turned them around, it'd be Cap.
Well, we can't do that, though. We've got to go ahead, see? We can't turn them around.
You
It's
can't
got
turn
the
them around, then.
P, and then another letter, and then C for Conlon, and then followed by another letter, see?
Yeah.
Well, you think about that a while. Let's see. We've got some more hands. Ruthie?
Well, I've got one for Pat and one for me.
Oh, you've got one for Pat. All right.
Pat's name, P-A-C-K, Pack. And for my name, R-O-D-E, Road.
That's very good. And Joel?
Well, you could have J-O-K-E, that's joke. Or,
Joke, huh? Sorry.
Or J-U-K-E, juke.
Juke.
Jukebox.
Uh-huh. And Michael, can you think of one? Let's see, you're M and M. So,
M and M.
in the meantime, you think up a couple of letters to sandwich in there. And, Pat?
Well, as Ruthie said, she gave me an idea. You could have P-A-C-T, which is packed.
Packed. Very good. Well, I'll tell you what.
Or else you could have P-packed. You could have packed. He packed the bag.
Yes. Let's see if we can help little Brenda out with her name now. B-L. Let's see if we... Ruthie?
Well, B-A-L-E, Bale.
Bale.
Also, I've got another one for me, R-I-D-E, Ride.
Right, And Joel?
Well, for him.
Oh, you got one for Mike, huh?
Moan, menu, main.
Oh.
Well, now, wait a minute.
His is M-N.
M-M.
M.
Yeah, McLean. Isn't that right, Mike?
M.
Yeah.
M.
Two M's, see? So M... blank, M blank. Pat.
Well, I have one for little Brenda there. Could be bully.
How do you spell it?
Bully. B-U-L-L-Y.
Well, you got 2 extra letters there.
Two extra letters.
Yeah. Bully, yeah. I don't like that anyway. We got to fix that one for Mike. Ruthie.
Well, this is really a girl's name, Mimi.
Well, yes. Or it could be Memo, M-E-M-O. Fine. Well, we've taken... Now then, I see Bob Murphy is ready with a question.
Yeah, Joe, and let's turn the tables. Instead of asking, suppose you answer. How many folks, Joe, do you suppose are prepared to do something about it when they get caught with a cold?
Why, thousands and thousands, Bob. In fact, all the folks who know about Alka-Seltzer and the ABC cold comfort treatment.
Right. 100% perfect, Joe. Step to the head of the class, Mr. Kelly. And friends, if you or someone in your family has a cold right now, remember that Alka-Seltzer can help you to fast relief from much of your cold distress. Alka-Seltzer's ABC cold comfort treatment is easy to follow, and you'll certainly welcome the way it can ease your discomfort. Listen, here it is. A, Alka-Seltzer. Start taking it at once to help relieve that ache in every bone, feverish feeling of your cold. B, be wise. Beware of drafts. Be sure you dress sensibly and try to get more rest than usual, and be careful of your diet. And C, comfort the sore throat caused by your cold by gargling with Alka-Seltzer. There it is, simple and easy. And let me remind you that you cannot know how good Alka-Seltzer can be until you try it. So do try it right now if you're suffering from a cold. Yes, go to your drugstore for Alka-Seltzer. And instead of 1, buy 2. That's the wisest thing to do.
Now, kids, Mrs. Victor George of Los Angeles, California may be surprised when she hears what I've done to the question she sent in. I've planned to have Smiley Burnett take part in this, and, well, we will see what we will see. You all set for this one now, Smiley?
I'm ready, Joe.
Attaboy, fine. Well, all right. Now, you kids all know that Smiley plays in Western movies, and you are probably familiar with the voice he uses in his roles. So now I'm going to ask Smiley to read a few quotations from Shakespeare the way Smiley Burnett, the cowboy, might have written them. And you see if you can identify the quotation. All right, Smiley, let's have number 1.
Now, is it or ain't it? That's what I'm hankering to find out. Now, is it better in my noggin to just bear up under the Injun firearms of dad-blamed hard luck, or just kick up a ruckus against an ocean of ornery goings-on?
Well, we have 3 hands up. Joel's hand was first.
That's from Hamlet.
Hamlet,
to be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune,
yes,
or to
what? Take
men
arms
against the sea of trouble,
That's the
and
one.
by opposing them, end them.
That's very, very good, Joel. Very good. Say, you know, let's you and I read that back.
All right, you read
I'll
what
read the
you
first-
got, and then I'll read what I put.
All right, to be or not to be, that is the question.
Is it or ain't it? That's what I'm hankering to find out.
Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer.
Now, is it better in my noggin to just bear up
the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune,
under the Injun firearms of dad-blamed hard luck,
or to take arms against a sea of trouble?
or just kick up a ruckus against an ocean of ornery goings-on?
Well, that was a lot of fun. All right, Smiley, let's see how you can mess up this next one.
All right? The whole universe is an auditorium, and every critter wants to get in the act. They enter in one and go out through the pit. If a fella gets time, he can sing all the parts. He works every act, and they got 7. He does the first act in a 3-cornered shaft while being held up by the producer.
Patrick.
Well, that is, and as you like it, that was Jock who said that.
That's right. As you like it. Very, very good, kids.
Well, he described the 7 ages.
Yes.
First the infant, and then
Yes.
the schoolboy, and then the lover, and the soldier, and then the other 3 with the old man. The last one is sans eye, sans teeth, sans hair, sans everything. That means you're dead.
That's just what it means, doesn't it, huh? All right, well, thanks a lot, Smiley. We enjoyed having you very, very much on the show today. Mr. S.A. Packer of Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, would like to hear you quiz kids discuss this question. What are the advantages and disadvantages of having brothers and sisters? Brenda?
Well, I think it's advantage to have a bigger sister because besides all your clothes, you'll have all her clothes.
Well, you like that. Isn't that nice? That's what you call looking ahead, girls, yes. And Michael?
Well, I think it'd be nice to have a sister about 9 or 10 to wash the dishes.
Oh, yes, that would be an advantage, Michael, And Joel?
Well, a brother or a sister is a friend that you can never lose and a lifelong friend, and there's certainly some advantage to having at least one of those.
Yes, that's true. That's right. And Ruthie?
Well, I think definitely a brother or sister is something that's just wonderful to have. I like having a younger sister because I can sort of let out all my complaints to her, and I'm sure that if I was a younger sister, I'd like that because I could learn from all of my older sister's experiences and mistakes. I made plenty. And I'd also like to have an older brother so he could sort of introduce me to people.
Yes, that would be an advantage. And Patrick?
There are some advantages. As Joel says, you can really have friends and a younger brother or sister, and you can really play games with them all the time and sometimes have more fun with them than you could with other kids.
That's right.
And you can help them along too, and help them along with their work. And then one of the disadvantages is that whenever something happens around the house, the mother says, "Well, you get blamed for it because you're the eldest," and then the sister or brother goes off scot-free, so to speak.
I see. And little Brenda has her hand up again. What is it, honey? What?
Well, if I had a brother, I would rather have a younger brother because when they grow up, they're so terrible.
Well, you all heard the old school bell quiz, kids. It's time now for the judges to get busy on your scores, and while they're figuring, here's a reminder.
There are 49 more days until spring. 49 more days of winter's woes and cold and snows. Are you taking extra vitamins every day this winter? How can you be sure you're getting all the essential vitamins you need from the food you eat? Don't take chances. Instead, take one-a-day brand multiple vitamins. Lack of a daily supply of essential vitamins can lead to a vitamin deficiency and keep you from feeling your best and so looking your best. Don't take chances. Instead, take one-a-day brand multiple vitamins. 60 capsules, 2 months supply, only $2. Ask your druggist for one-a-day brand multiple vitamin capsules.
All right, now, children, I have your report cards, and before I read off your grades, though, let me remind you that in determining your score, your age is taken into consideration as well as the number of correct answers you gave, and whether you win or lose this afternoon, you will each receive a $100 security bond from the makers of Alka-Seltzer to help you with your future education. Now, then, the judges say that as a class, you missed only one question this afternoon. Patrick was first, Joel second, and Ruthie and Brenda tied for third. So we'll see you four back in school next Sunday, and here to compete with you, we'll have Estelle Marty, age 11, a brand new quiz kid. And we hope all you listeners will be planning on being here in Class 2 with us. And now until next Sunday at this same time, this is Joe Kelly dismissing the Quiz Kids class. Goodbye, kids.
Bye, Mr. Kelly.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.